Next, so we have a guest. It is I'll just introduce my guest. Our guest for today, we have Nuruddin Adigberu, who is a senior lecturer and a senior journalist. It's good to have you on the show, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to all our viewers. Well, the fact that we are Muslims and Christians does not say we should not wish the traditionalists. Today is their day, and Lagos State government has been doing fantastically well in terms of declaring an holiday for them. I think the government did it last year, and today is still continuing that every August 20 should be Isheshe Day in Lagos, and that is one of the things that make us tick, especially in the southwestern part of the country. Osun is also doing the same. I want all the states to also emulate that. Look, we can be Muslims, we can be Christians. We should know that there are some certain people that are traditionally inclined and they are traditionalists. Because there is difference between traditionally being inclined and traditionally. There are some people that worship all those deities and whatever. It's their day, it's their choice. And we should not change them. If we can be given holidays for Christmas, New Year, Eid al-Kabir, Eid al-Mawlud, you can give it a Fitri. We should be able to give them, at least if it is one. Going forward, maybe we can make it beyond one day. But all the traditionalists, let's worship accordingly, and we should not trample upon the right of others.
Very true. Okay, so we also have our guest, the second guest in the house. We have Shegun Shubiton, who is the chairman of Bolt Art Network. It's good to have you in this program, sir.
Good to be here.
Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everybody. On my way over, I ran into them, and I was just wondering, just there, they occupied the entirety of Tony Street.
Oh wow!
And they were waving me aside and all that, so I just quietly respected them because you don't want trouble. I actually didn't know exactly what was going on. So I said, "White." I just knew there was something. I beg. I just
fought. Deliberately because of them. I did not put on white because I know that is the color that
they will wear today.
Because you think you're part of them.
And that's true. You're putting on white now.
I passed through them.
Anyway, it's good to have you, you gentlemen, in the studio. It's been fun. So quickly before we go into what we're talking about, I saw a story just at night, and I was like, I think we should take that first before any other story today. And that is the federal government increasing the salaries for political leaders. In fact, and I'm like, why? I don't know. I'm going to start with you because this is just for me like the wrong move. But let's hear from you. Do you think that's the right move?
You see, the proposition of the of the DG of Rafak is that since 2008, they're supposed to be reviewing it, but they did not reviewing it. How can you describe when President Federal Republic of Nigeria is collecting 1 million naira, 1.5 million naira per month? And also you see governor collecting 1 million naira per month. Is it good from 2000 and I look at it. See, if every worker in Nigeria is also collecting 1 million naira, 1.5 million naira, and their clothing is taken care of, their feeding is taken care of, their accommodation. In fact, me, I can work for free. If you can give me free accommodation, free ride, free clothing, what am I eating? Free
medical care,
and my family, even if my dog
is sick,
they will take down my dog away. And if you can do all those things, and I'll be traveling anywhere I want to travel officially for free, don't give me salary. What are we using salary to do? Is it not to eat? Is it not to build a house? Is it not to buy cars? Is it not to clothe ourselves? If I get everything for free, look, I have said it severally. Upon the state of Nigeria that we are not too rich, we are the one financing our politicians. And that is the reason why you see that upon what some certain politicians are gaining from the system, somebody still want to increase their salary. As if that 1 million naira, what is 1 million naira? The wife of the president giving people money on time of donation like fraud victims and whatever. Where is he getting that money? Is it not from the system? So automatically when you see governor going to one place, I donate so to victims. You not be thinking, is it his money? Is it money of the government? So if workers are, there is no states that are paying 70,000 naira. What I mean by there is no state paying 70,000 naira minimum wage is this. None of them use the measurement of 70,000 naira. There is a way they normally do permutation. Mr. Shokuto will understand that they don't use the same rate. There are some with the increment, maybe it's 10,000 naira they added to their salary. And you still want those people that are living large, that they will go with. I fought with some certain councillors and chairmen that have gone one on the vehicles they bought as official vehicle. Do you know what somebody showed me? They showed me one letter from the state government that towards the end of their tenure, that all their vehicles should be given to them when they are going. Yes, in fact, that person showed me, I saw it and I read it. Clean letter. So if somebody is a councillor, F9 parallel, for 4 years, he will not become a millionaire. You will not see a professor that has been professor emeritus. You don't have challenged it on this particular program. There is no professor in the public institution, either state or federal. I don't want to talk about the one of private. That is collecting that. So your take home is 500,000 not in Nigeria. I challenge anybody. If like you should be professor emeritus or professor Garden of Eden, you should be professor Evan in Nigeria. Lecturing in any state, either state university, what I mean by state-owned university or federal-owned university that is taking home 500,000 naira, there is no that professor. And you will now see somebody will now increase. What it means is this special assistant, so all of them will have increment at the same time. We are the ones servicing these politicians.
Okay, Miss Shegun, what do you think about this?
I think it's you see there are two ways to look at this, and we have to be fair in quotes and balanced. If salary reviews have not happened in almost 20 years, there's an argument in support of saying, look, it's long overdue. And, you know, given what has happened with inflation and all of that in that time, we all know what 1 million naira in, 2008 compared to 1 million naira today can do. That 1 million naira of 2008 is probably maybe 100K today in terms of purchasing power. So if you look at it from that perspective, you say, look, this is long overdue. It's very good. Let them do it. Actually, I support it. I support it with my full chest. However, this is the big however, the other side of the coin. The allowances that they are collecting, they must collapse it into the salary. That's the way it works in every institution. You will receive when you are employed, you collect a letter of employment, and they will give you your remuneration on that letter, breaking it down. Every allowance you are going to collect is stated there, black and white. So you will have your basic salary, whatever the figure is. Then you will have housing, transport, feeding, whatever. If you're a big boy in the corporate world, you might even have domestic staff allowance. You might have entertainment allowance, and all that. But it's all stated. And then you total it. The figure that is in that total is the total you are collecting in total. If there's any other way to say total, you will not get a dime more than that, except maybe when you go on trips, you get your per diem, and all of those things. So I support this increase, but they must collapse the allowances into the salary and let us know what the total figure is. How much is the president of Nigeria collecting? Do you know that? I know this is not news anymore. It's common. Because Michelle Obama trended a while back when she spoke about the remuneration structure in the United States for the American president. It is shocking that they pay for every goddamn thing that they use in the White House.
You have a visitor that is not
the
official.
White House.
You pay for that.
If you have a visitor
That is not official.
and it is not an official state visit, you are paying from your pocket for the food you feed them.
Yes.
The food you eat, you and your family, you pay. If there is nothing like, it's the president, then you will just be giving him free food for life. There's nothing like that. That is the United States of America, biggest economy in the world, most prosperous nation in the world. Different donations. By any measure you want to use it, America is right up there. And it's the same in the UK. in the UK, go to Downing Street, look at the frugal lifestyle that these people have, right? So we should increase our salaries, but we should collapse allowances into it and make sure that they don't collect a dime more.
Let everybody be on minimum wage.
Then, even if you want to say that, but everybody cannot be on that same structure. So I'm okay with that. Now, the other side of this, after having done that, if they do that, 100% approval from me. In addition, the anti-corruption agencies should also now stand up and make sure that you don't get a dime more than what is due to you. All of them.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I'm telling you what the conditions of my support now. So, EFCC, ICPC, Code of Conduct Bureau, all of them. The Nigeria Police, Federal, all of them. Put all of them together and then mandate them that anybody, after we increase this your salary, we don't want to see one shishi that is not your own.
And governor and president that have immunity.
All of them.
Okay, governor.
All of them. All of them. Governor, president, senator, legislator, local council chairman, directors of MDAs, ministers, commissioners, increase their salaries. It's actually the right thing to do. Look, it will never work, but I'm telling you what we must do if we want to progress as a nation. If it is the right thing to do. Okay. It is enough. You know, all this, nobody cares. They don't collect the salary now. He has already said it. They don't collect the salary. And that's wrong. Nigeria will never. Look, I've been saying this thing a lot in the last few days. Nigeria can never, capital never, italics, underline, bold, red. So that any way you want to emphasize a letter, emphasize this never. Nigeria can never make progress with the way we're doing things right now. If we truly want to make progress, this is what I'm saying that should happen. That you must have accountability for every kobo. And you must not take a cent, a kobo, more than what we have agreed with you in contractual terms that you are entitled to. And anybody that takes that cent, that the anti-corruption agencies should pick them up and send them to prison. Until we do that, here we did.
So indirectly, you're not supporting the increase.
I support it.
With all these conditions, and you know it will work.
Like you said, that was the only thing, because I know that if they are able to do that, I think it will work. But if they are not able to do that, definitely.
If they don't do that, then they should leave them as they are. We should reduce the salary.
No salary at all.
Just imagine if she see what she knows now. Just imagine. As an entrepreneur, for years, he has been buying diesel to fuel the station. Just imagine.
I mean, it's completely unthinkable.
So government should now say, okay, Steve Ojo, because you belong in the business, you are one of the people that first got broadcasting license in Nigeria. Okay, the diesel will supply you for 5 years to cushion the effects. But you see what he will be using the money for diesel to do.
Right.
Or somebody that is eating free food, free abada, free attire, free flight, free, even if he had tortoise at home, and he has an injury or is sick, he can take that tortoise down to America to go and if
his children's school fees, their children's medical care, anything you can think of.
Anything I have to do with him. Is at times you just look at it, you just cover your face. That's why you see them when they are in position.
Because they are God.
Because they think they are God.
It's so sad. Well, I hope the federal government is listening. If they could do these things that Wemi mentioned,
they will hear us.
I think
in Jesus' name, they will hear us and they will do it.
Are we going spiritual?
You don't know that there are demons in that world.
I like that. So on a lighter note, now there's a trending video that I would like to bring up, and this one is about a Catholic priest who cried out after Lagos task force officials allegedly harassed him despite driving a private car. And there's a reason why they were harassing him, but from the video we'll understand why that came about. So let's know only for public transport having those documents, but not for private cars. But at this point, you can see they had to stop him and was trying to even have a conversation. And looking at the comment section of that video, a lot of people were like, He even has time discussing with them. If they should have just, drove off or something. But what do you think should be the right thing he should have done? And what do we say about those people on uniform? Because I don't think they are recognized.
The man is a gentleman and is a priest and a pastor. So he won't do the thing that I would have done. Me, I'm not a gentleman. So if they like that type of thing, I don't stop for them. I won't stop. Who are you? They will put on. Anybody can pick up a reflective jacket and wear it, and maybe you now pull out a gun and I discover that you're an armed robber. So I don't joke. If I don't see your uniform or something to tell me that this is a security agency, I won't just stop for you on the road. So the thing that most Lagosians will do, when you finish doing your maneuver and you escape, people will be hailing you. You see the people standing on the road say, yes, correct, Lagosian. The guy is visiting, so he didn't know. Those guys are those guys are local government thugs. This is part of the multiple taxation problem that we're talking about in Nigeria. And most of the money that they collect will not enter government official coffers. It's a racket and a scheme. They collect the money and it goes through the system to the people. That's why you see how much is the allocation of FAC allocation that gets to a local government council. And yet, if you be ordinary councillor, Mr. Adegbero will tell you, their life changes when they become councillors, not to talk of the local government chairman. Where is the money coming from? This is part of it. It's a racket that collects money from the bottom and then it goes all the way to the top. So it is illegal. And that's why when Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, that's his name, the tax reform committee guy, who I love so much. The guy is cerebral, very intelligent, all the things that he has come up with, in theory, fantastic. But we kept telling them that you are joking. This is a joke. It's not going to work. The real problems that we have is what we just saw that manifested in that video now. That different agencies of government, including state governments, and local government in particular, come up with fake and fictitious fines and levies. They print stickers just randomly, and then they go around and extort money from Nigerians. Now, that car is a private car. I have run a manufacturing business before where I had branded vehicles, private cars, but branded, used for commercial purposes, not public transportation. So there are, when you are doing your registration, you do your vehicle license and all of those ones. And then you pay for a Hackney permit to allow you to move goods or transport people. And that ought to be the end of it. But you see, when you finish that one, you will now gather, depending on which local government you live in, and all that, you gather anything from between, as at that time, and I'm sure we'll probably be talking about maybe 50,000 now. I don't know the exact amount anymore. That you must pay somebody who is an agent of a local government. They will now gather these stickers. There's a pile of them. They will hand them over to you. So that as you are driving around, when they stop you, they will let you go. I'm not talking of public transport, yellow painted bus, or private vehicles, but used for commercial purposes. So that priest, from his own account, is driving a private vehicle. It is not branded. So they don't have any business with him in the first place. If they stopped him because of the effigy, the statues, the little miniature statues on his dashboard, then they need their head examined.
Exactly. I was going to say that.
In their brain. And I'm relatively certain that man would have parted with something before he left, because that thing they did is extortion, is a criminal offense. If he is able to identify them, and their video, their faces, some of their faces are there. They should be, they should be held accountable, and they should be subjected to the full wrath of the law. What they did there was illegal, it was extortion, and it was criminal. And I just want to advise every Nigerian, know your rights. You need to be well informed with regards to what the law expects of you. Whether you are driving your car, your bicycle, or you are walking along the road. Know what the law expects of you and stand by it firmly, but without compromise. If some so-called law enforcement agent stops you and wants to do anything outside of that. So I hope the man gets redress. What happened to him was very unjust.
Was very unjust. Okay. Nuruddin, what's your take?
Well, I will start from where Mr. Shopper stopped. if you brand your vehicle, it is not a business of any local government, according to the edit of Lagos State. This is what happened. Before the creation of LASA, the agency in charge of signage in Lagos State, local government has the right, according to the constitution, to be collecting those tolls for all those branded. But there is a law. An agency was created because every month, part of the allocation that goes to Lagos, to local government, the money shared with the LASA is being given to them. So they have no business. All those hacking permits, that is the only one. Apart from that one, it has to do with transportation, whatever. But the one of Crescent, in fact, I'm still going to talk to the publicity person in LASA. That are they giving, because I could see their jackets also, especially at Egbeda, roundabout, in front of that mosque, that they will put on LASA, whatever. Maybe they now have talks, because every agency has its own talks. They should not lie to us. In Lagos, there are a lot of multiple taxation, and that is why a lot of businesses will never grow, no matter how beautiful they are. So, if you are going to brand your vehicle, you take the picture of that vehicle, front and back.
Okay.
You go to LASA, you apply. They will give you, they will ask you to sign, and they have a list. You look at where your vehicle picks up, and you will pay. Then after paying, they will give you the certificate they are going to give you, where you are going to put it in your vehicle or you post it, so that anywhere you are going, it covers you. Do you know this? All these rubbish paper they are putting together. It is not peculiar to one local government. Yours, IK is not taking. You pay in this, assuming you are doing your business in Agege, you collect one of Agege. When you get to Ekpe, that one will ask you. When you get to Ibadan, they will tell you there is one that covers Southwest.
Go there if you go to B. If you are going to B, on this.
So you will not discover that. How did you want somebody that is, let's say somebody is producing ice block and distributing it. Tell me, with all this money, how did you want that person to go?
To make,
And that's the reason why we are telling Mr. Oledele and what is it? He has a good mind, but he doesn't know the political reality of what is on ground. And that is the problem about honest act. With those people that study abroad, that you now bring that here, they don't know the reality that is there. Okay, go and ask NURTW. Go and ask them. The money they are collecting, that the local government, it is the function of the local government to be collecting tolls, because all those facts they are using belongs to local government, not even state government. How much is going to the local government purse? And our local government chairman should be creative. Don't just sit down and be waiting for allocation alone. Be creative. There are a lot of things you need to be doing. And I've told some certain people, if I don't have sense and I'm in position of authority, I'll look for those people that have more sense than I do, and I'll make use of their sense to get the money for me to do my government. So I think that is a kind of narrative. They need to be creative. If they are not creative, get think tanks that can think for you, that can make you. Don't depend on that. Because one thing there is this, I've done it last 4 years. In Onikonko here, there are some guys that normally stand in front of for shopping plaza there. The same way they normally do. One day, we pack 4 of them. The chairman here, Aladotu, is late now. He denied them, said he didn't know that they are not staff. Where's your ID card? They don't, sir. We took them to police stations. And somebody has told me they are thugs. That's some, but they will deny them. They will tell them from the beginning. If,
they catch you.
So don't worry. The one that whether they are still on the top people, I've seen the location. I want to trace it. Maybe it's at CMS or Aziz. I know those who are going to come. We are going to target them. By the time we take them, panty straight.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that one. Well, I hope everybody knows that you have to know what your right is, as Shegun Shokiton said, which is very important. I think if you know that people like this, you'll be able to stand up against them, or I will not say
exactly.
Okay, so well, like you said. Anyways, Patricia, what's the next story for today? Let's move on.
I'm just going to say Mr. Nuruddin is a man of the people. He's ready to locate them. In fact, he has located them already. Anyway, since we're talking about a priest being harassed, let's go on with actor Charles Ugochukwu, who blasts churches for reserving front seats for latecomers. Okay, Nollywood actor Charles Ugochukwu has called out churches in Lagos for what he described as disturbing trending of keeping the best seats for latecomers. He questioned why people who arrive early are pushed to the back, while those who stroll in late are ushered to the front seat, saying the practice does not sit right with him. According to him, he says this moves discourages members that are punctual. Anyway, I don't think there's a video to that. I'm going to start with you, Mr. Shegu, because Mr. Nuruddin is laughing already and I know how he's going to blast. So let me start with you. Do you think it's actually right? I have experienced it severally in churches. You go to church, they're leaving a front lane for some certain people and they're telling you sit behind, sit behind. Do you think it's actually right to leave seats for some set of people?
Well, okay, so you see, this issue is a bit sensitive because it borders on religion. And when it comes to religious issues, politics and religion, brain doesn't tend to be involved, you know. So a lot of people, which is not the intention of God, by the way, because in the Bible, let me go spiritual slightly, just for a second. Scripture says that God said to people, "Come, let us reason together. Though your sin were as scarlet, they will be white as snow." Do you know what that means? That even if you have committed a sin, God, the Almighty, the Creator of the universe, He said, "Come, let's talk about it. Give me your reasons, and I'll tell you what you did wrong." That's God Himself. I don't understand why men of God, you know, and the religious leaders tend to create the impression that we are supposed to be robots and zombies when it comes to religion, you know. But it's a sensitive issue, so I will try and navigate it carefully. On the one hand, I want to ask the gentleman, what do you call his name?
Ugochukwu. Charles
Ugochukwu. Is it his church?
Probably.
Yes, it is.
It's his church, his own church.
Yeah.
Good. So then he concern him. So my advice to him is that he should go to his pastor and express his discontent and his unhappiness. That, "Sir, why are you doing this?" You know? And there might be good reason. Now, I am somebody who believes in egalitarian society, equality for all, as much as possible. But as I have grown older, in my idealistic younger days, I say, what is the meaning of this? Why should the president have a special convoy? I have now discovered, as maturity have come, and you understand the way the world works better, that there is something called privilege. And it is true, it's real. It's real. Because of what you do in your community and in your society and the value you add. There are some people that the society will by themselves raise you on a pedestal and give you some advantages.
Yeah, okay.
So you will get to a queue, for example, and everybody will say, no, go to the front. For example, the elderly. I also am a trainer. When we are running training programs for corporate clients, when it's lunch break, me, my normal self, I will go and join the queue. Maybe I'm in the classroom talking to some students, then so I got to the canteen late. I will just go and join the queue. More often than not, they will now drag me by force and say, "No, sir, you can't join this queue. Come to the front."
Okay.
So I will now go reluctantly. Sometimes they will, in fact, sometimes, because of that thing, I won't even go. I don't go and join them again. I'll go and sit down. They will go and bring the food for me. I'm saying there's privilege.
Yes.
So there are some churches where, for example, those front rows are reserved for their pastors and their ministers. You can't begrudge them that one. They are the leadership of that place, and elders and all that. So if that is what he's talking about, I have no issue with it. If, however, you are talking about seats reserved for people because they donate big money.
But that is part of it too.
Because there are churches where, in fact, in the more orthodox churches, me, I'm a Pentecostal, so there's nothing like that. In fact, in my church, pastor sits, he doesn't have a seat. He doesn't have it. I go to Daystar Christian Center. So people can, you know, you can fact check me right there and then.
True.
Reverend Sam not get seats that you say this is the pastor's seat. It's just that there is a section around which you know that that's where pastor sits when he's around, and then the other associate pastor, that's where they sit. That's the pastor section. That's all. There is no seat that they put tag on it that on this seat you can't sit on this one. Because the man believes that he's a man. Just like the rest of us. The man drives himself till tomorrow. He doesn't have a driver. Can you believe that? The pastor of that kind of church, he doesn't have a driver. So that's my own church. But I know that there are some Orthodox churches. In fact, they will buy the seat. I'm not joking, no. The seat, not pastor, not minister, special church members have specific seats with their name
tagged on it.
Yeah. Wow.
And even if they don't come to church, nobody sits on that chair. So those types of things, I think, we should discourage it as much as possible. Yeah. But it's not a serious issue like that. I would just advise the gentleman that raised the matter. Go and meet your pastor. Express your discontent. Tell him it can be better. And if there's nothing you can do about it, keep quiet and worship your God. At the end of the day, it's God that you follow. Go church. Worship your God. Go home.
Close of church,
if you are happy about it, and they can't change it, and you see that the thing is affecting your ability to worship your God, move. Because when you get to heaven, they will not ask you which church are you from.
Who was your pastor?
They will not ask you the name of the pastor. They open book for you and they check your life. And that's all.
That's all.
I think I will advise the man, you're not serious like that. So
okay, I want to ask this question to Mr. Nuruddin. So why is it that some religious leaders, this is actually from a viewers rather, said, why do some pastors or religious leaders walk in or walk around with bodyguards?
Number one, let me come from that angle. It is not peculiar to churches, but maybe the mode of worshipping of Muslims are different. That is what we call safu. Safu is lining that we do when we want to worship. Because there is difference between praying and worshipping. People normally take it together. In Islam, there are two different things. Prayer, you can pray anywhere between you and God. Worshipping, you must worship with others.
Together, okay.
You understand now? So when people say, the Muslim pray 5 times a day, no, we don't pray 5 times a day. We worship 5 times a day. So you see the rolling, it is by knowledge. If you don't have Arabic knowledge, you don't have business in the first row. Because the reason there is this, the only person that has space is the imam that wants to lead. And anybody can lead. You know the reason why those knowledgeable must be at the front? Because there are some certain things that can spoil that worshipping. You understand now? Maybe he wants to ease himself, he will just leave quietly. Part of those people on that line will speak in and will move forward. So that is based on knowledge. Even if 18-year boy is the most knowledgeable, is the one that will lead. That's why anybody that will be imam is the most knowledgeable in that particular angle. Then, in terms of religion reservations, you see one thing that our religious leaders have taken into consideration is that they swell themselves into the political setting of the country. They are now becoming politicians themselves. What am I even saying? Are they not politicians? Only few of them. So by the time they now swell themselves, because for politicians, they may not contest. Politicians, they give ranking to a lot of things. That's why you see that even among themselves as a senator, Senate president will see himself as a god. He's a senator that represents one senatorial district, just like it's like class captain that was big among the class. He now sees himself as a governor that is the member of governors forum. You will see, because he's the chairman of governors forum, you will see as if he's above every other governor. He's only governing one state, just like others. The same way Speaker of House of Representatives is only representing one federal constituency. You will see himself as, so because of that, there are some certain politicians, there are some certain pastors, imams too, that have attached to that kind of lifestyle. And when you are, that's why you see that when a person is rich, the kind of prayer they give them is different. That one is separate. Then let me now look it from the angle of what you say. Look, let us be sincere to ourselves. If pastor or imam has money to guide himself, and he's not taking from the church money or mosque money, it's his right. For the fact that he's an imam or a pastor, when there is insecurity in the country, he can guide himself. It's when he's alive that he's a pastor. It's when he's alive he's imam. If he's using his own money. But if he's using church or mosque money and the church committee agrees with that, look, with the level of insecurity, I have lived in the north. I have lived in the south. With the glory of God, there is no state in this country I've never been to. I know what is happening. In fact, what is happening in Kuala, by God's grace next week, I'm still going to that. We want to see what is going on here. Look, if pastor wants to use anything to save his life, but my own problem is this. Pastor or imam, if you are using security all around, it is your personal choice. But don't come to church and tell the other members of the church not to use bodyguard. Now say God will save you. It is hypocrisy. You now tell them God is guiding all of us, but if you have other measures that is not against the path of God, protect yourself. That means if you have police officers, if you have vigilantes that can protect, but don't you are using like 5 mopo guiding you. You don't get to church. Don't worry, God is going to guide every one of us. No, that is hypocrisy. You must tell them too. They should also take other measures to secure themselves. If that one is done, I don't think that pastor and that imam. Another thing again is that don't forget, majority of our pastors and imam, they are big personalities. Do you know that they attach police officers to them?
Oh.
Yes. They attach police officers to them. Not all of them, but there are some that are living simple life. But those ones that are, some of them are business person before they become pastor. So what did you expect? But one thing there is that if it is their money, whatever somebody do with their money does not even concern me. But if it is church money and I'm going to that church, like that to the Chuku, if I'm the one, I'll move to pastor. Come, I'll ask this as innocent question. This first room, what are you reserving it for? So that we let the pastor to handcuff himself. If you now say, it's only for when we have religious leaders coming from other churches, that's why it's fine. You know, because they are our guests, and we must put them in a separate place. But you now say, we normally put it when we have wealthy person. That will now say, I've been in this church for 20-something years. So because I'm not wealthy. Because me, in that kind of situation, one day I'll get to church, I'll look around, and I'll go to that person.
I knew that was what you're about to say.
What I'm not create that scene is that when I do that scene for 3-4 years, 3-4 times, one day I know pastor will call me, what is in me? And I will now, but one thing there is that, because at times when you don't ask questions, you may not get the answer.
Yes.
Although there are some churches, as Mr. Ashokos, I know some churches that I've gone to. Those you have gone to, yes, I'm a reporter. I've been in the church section like CMS, that cathedral. That was a customer. Because that is the church of my secondary school. So I know where to use toilet there. I know I will ask that there are some chairs. They preserve it. In fact, the way they are going to catch it is different from any other chair. So, but one thing there, please, even in the heart of God.
I would like to
Thank you very much.
on the issue of bodyguard. Do you remember the incident with Apostle Suleiman? Sorry, I'm mentioning names. You know, he was supposedly an assassination
Not
attempt.
once, not twice.
Yeah, and he was saved by an armored vehicle. The guy drives around in a bulletproof vehicle. Man of God. So I think that
He's taking special.
I think that the example of the Christian is Christ. We derived the name Christianity from Christ. Like, did Jesus Christ have bodyguard?
So Jesus does not have money they have now.
Jesus had
They
more.
must protect
He
their
had more.
Now it's not Boko Haram.
Look, I think.
Today
But there were the Pharisees who were always getting to
What did you say? I don't find it like this.
Jesus, in too many times, they tried to kill him.
Several times.
Too many times.
But don't forget
So the guy too had enemies.
Don't forget that Jesus is from God. What I mean from God?
Leave that one now. But we're still saying that in spite of that,
they should not, if they have
he
money.
lived a simple life in spite of the fact that people wanted to kill him. So the point I want to
The
make
grace that Jesus has, this one.
Exactly, I was going to go there.
Let me tell you, the way I'm just going is that a pastor, as a man of God and a servant of God and of the people, your life should be so simple
I agree now.
that you don't have enemies that want to
kill you. Yeah.
What are you doing? No, but there are examples. That's the point I'm making. That if you live according to the dictates of Scripture and follow the example of Christ, you will not need bodyguard. I say that with my full chest.
They should not shoot
You will not need bodyguard. So if you need police, an armored vehicle, as a pastor preaching Christ, check the gospel you are preaching.
I want to quickly add to that because we don't have time. So, Mr. Nuruddin, yes, I want to disagree. All those priests that they are kidnapping in the east and kidnapping everywhere. But that's what he's saying.
That's a different matter.
That's what he's saying.
Do you know the number of religious leaders that have been killed in this nation?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Look, my point is that the kind of anointing that Jesus has, the anointing that Prophet Muhammad has, our father and they didn't have. One thing again is this. My own is that if it is their money and they want to use it to protect their lives, now how come we are now having security guard in churches and mosques?
Because it's Boko Haram now.
That's what they say.
Wait, if they should keep pastor now, are you not going to get another pastor?
Is that Boko Haram in Lagos? Is that Boko Haram in Lagos? The ones that are going around with convoy in this Lagos.
No, the one of convoy is different. But the armor and the way to protect himself. Look, every society has its own enemies. So the fact that we don't have Boko Haram in Lagos does not mean we don't have robbers in Lagos. Yeah, as at yesterday, Allen that you used to pass, they use gun like this to collect 10 from. I'm coming. So if that kind of person that has chain of over 70 million on his neck is now going out with Mopo, come, is 70 million not the reason why somebody should have a Mopo that will be guiding? Some people did not have a vehicle of 70 million. They are having two more Mopo men go guiding them. So they have something to protect. Please, but they should not use church or box.
Live your life simple.
Okay, all right. Let me just read some messages so we can go. This one says, "I'm sorry to say this. There's nothing like church nowadays. Most pastors have turned everything to business center, like Apostolic Church." Another one says, "Oga Nuruddin, Oga Shegun, and Chief Officer, I always thank God for you all being our spiritual leaders by being open-minded and emphatic, encouraging admonitions on issues just as real fathers would do to his children." This is from Onyeka. Another says, "Good afternoon, everyone. I support the advice of the man that said the complainant should meet his church pastor and ask for the reason, because there might be a genuine reason for reserving the front seat for some people. I am an usher in my church and we reserve the front seat for men, and the reason is because some women did." Okay.
I know.
Some women don't know how to sit down carefully, and that's why it's preferable. Another says, "I agree 100% that Nigeria can have a robust economy with money to provide for the country people's infrastructure needs. When national stealing is no more tolerated by the country people, then there will be an adequate funds to provide 24 hours power supply, good road and bridges without borrowing money with accumulative interest rates before country can have money for this. Nigeria is owing 180 trillion naira. How can we repay this loan without the country being taken over by the World Bank, which we are owing? God forbid that after 20 years, this country is an independent republic. In the independent republic, will be brought over by the World Bank government by I guess the stadium to beg profusely that Ngozi should not borrow money in Nigeria. Okay, I think I understand what you're trying to say. Thank you very much for that one. And the last one I'll be reading is, again, the kind of life our politicians are living. Our healthcare workers are suffering when they refuse to pay hazard allowance. Pensioners are suffering. I guess this one just needed to put that out there because it's not part of what we're reading. Anyways, that's all for today. We've come to the end of the show. My name is Blossom. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you so much, Mr. Showito, for being on the show. Thank you so much for your analysis, especially the pastoring part. Yes, thank you so much. And also thank you, Nuruddin, for being on the show. Thank you for also, telling us that you can have bodyguard so far you have money. Yes. So thank you so much for that contribution. And thank you everyone for being part of the show. We'll be seeing you tomorrow about what's trending and buzzing on social media. Until then, do have a blissful Wednesday. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us on today's show. We'll be back tomorrow, same time. My name is Patricia Uremu Gabriel.